everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author, and welcome back to my channel. I write an adult fiction across a variety of genres, and if you think that might interest you, then think about subscribing. Today we're going to be talking about my writing process, which I just found out this morning. I've done a video on this before, so I will link that in the cards, but it's very old. So I've been writing now for 20 years, and over that time my writing process has switched and changed and turned into what it is today. Every time a shift happens in the routine, I find the process changing again. But I thought I would go through and tell you what my writing process looks like now. Step number 1, the idea stage. I think every writer has a stage where they go through their ideas. For me, this stage usually hits towards the middle to the end of the previous books I'm working on. Sometimes they hit me out of nowhere, and then, to use Jenna Moressi's term, I thought dump all the ideas into a notepad file. From there I will prioritise whether it's an idea that can go on the back burner or it's something that I need to make more progress on sooner rather than later. This usually takes a few days for me to get everything sorted. Last time I checked, my file had 10 ideas that are in various stages of planning, and some of them are linked to series I'm writing at the moment, and some are standalones that I will write at some point in the future. Choosing the idea to work on is a number of things: whether I'm excited about it, whether I feel passion for it, whether it fits into a series, or whether it's just an idea that I'm desperate to explore. Sometimes I think about trying to juggle 3 books at once, but I know that I'm unable to manage that, so I normally talk myself out of it. Step number 2, the planning stage. Once I have the idea, I will move to planning. As most people know, I'm a planner in that I do some planning before I draft, but often will go off plan while drafting. I find that without any kind of outline, I can't write, but with too much, it destroys the idea for me. So this is one thing that has stayed kind of the same since I first started writing all those years ago. I have a 2-page document that has the chapter, a few words on what should happen on the day of the week and how long has the book started along the side, and from there I plan out my book. Along with the chapter plan, I will make character notes. These are all note cards where I record the character's name, description, age, date of birth, and what part they will play, if I'm aware of it. I'm not always aware of that when I start planning, and all of that goes on one note card that I can easily carry around, so I have it on hand when I'm writing. This can take me anywhere from a few hours to a few days. It really just does depend on the idea and how easy it is for me to form the idea into the plans I need. Step number 3. The drafting stage. This is the next stage, and it takes me from about 5 months to 6 months to draft. I will go from writing early in the morning to writing in bed to writing at my desk on my computer, on my iPad. When the plague leaves, outside even. I write in blocks of 4 so that I can have 2 chapters of each book and then take a day off, either off completely or a day to record videos and then revise another project. But during this stage I'm doing the same thing as many other writers. I'm actually editing as I go, but the majority of this stage is literally me at a keyboard and typing. It depends from month to month, but I keep going, and sometimes it'll all be at the same time and place and such, and other times I will flitter from routine to routine, and it's always up in the air into where each book is going to take me writing wise, and I'm okay with that. I don't consider myself a fast drafter because I take 5 to 6 months, but I do know that I'm faster than some, but it wasn't always that way. I did spend a long time taking 2 years to write 2 books. It was only when I started planning my time more that things seemed to speed up. And as I've said many times before, you don't need to compare yourself to me or other writers. It takes as long as it takes, and that's okay. Number 4, the revision stage. There is a step in between these two, the one where I let the book sit for a good long period of time before picking it up to revise. At the moment, that time is usually about 3 years, just because of the backlog I have drafting wise. This allows me to have completely forgotten the small details, if not some of the larger ones, and that way I can go through it with mostly fresh eyes. I will approach revisions with the idea that it will take me as many read-throughs as possible. I also do plan my revisions. Once I've read through it a couple of times, I make an outline that allows me to make sure that I have everything I need in the right places. Hello, tortellini. This helps with pacing, spotting plot holes, and making sure that the character arcs all go according to plan. I won't give you an estimate on how long this takes, because it's anything from a few months to a few years, depending on the project. It's an important step for me, and I think a lot of the time the focus is on editing and skipping the revision stage, so it makes sense for me to mention it here. And number 5, the editing stage. This is the final stage and usually happens after numerous revisions when it goes from my hands for the beta rounds and into the hands of my editors. This usually has a more firm time of around 5 months, 3 for developmental, 1 for line and 1 for proof. And it's that stage that I find hardest to go through. I've made it clear all this time that I've always preferred drafting, but that doesn't make this stage any less important. I've been lucky in that I've worked with and continue to work with amazing editors, from my developmental to my line to my proofreader. All of them are brilliant to work with, and without them my books would not be in the good shape that they are currently. So this is the final stage, and I'm sure you can all work out how it goes from here onto her publication and beyond. So there we go, that's my writing process. Basically it can take anywhere from a year to 2. I don't know, it takes a very long time for me to write a book, finish a book, revise a book, and then edit a book. To give you some idea, Lights Off, which is now up for pre-order, was written in 2016, I think it was. And so that's how long it's taken me to go from idea to publication. So what's your writing process like? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment, like or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media and my books are available everywhere. And don't forget to enter the Page Channel Awards, where I will be judging the Young Writers Award. Entries open until May 31st. And also don't forget to pre-order Lights Off. And if you do pre-order, don't forget to grab the swag. All the links for which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye.